$40,000. I don't know where he got it from. Him and his wife talked about it, so everything's pretty much done except for the due diligence, doing the research, and see if he'll leave some profit in that property after he's paid the 40 grand. I'm definitely going to do the Sacramento Bee ad again. I'm going to try to get that going by hopefully the 15th of the month. That might be too soon, but I've had some new people that want to get in on it at $100. Again, some of you want to back out. I mean, that's your prerogative. You still, if you and went with the Sacramento the first time, you still will get any profits that are coming. But after we go into the second group, any new calls goes with the second group. So a lot of you may not see it as being beneficial, and you got to have something out there for people to call you. And for some of you, that $100 is very cheap, but at the same time, you got to see the value in it. My mentor always told me I should be in that newspaper every day of the year. Every single day, because you never know when someone's going to call you. So I did talk about the trustee sale. Karen, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
Good. Are you at work?
No, got off work already.
All right. Now, in a nutshell, I'm going to tell these guys what you got going. She's got a coworker that is in foreclosure, and the wife understands they're in trouble. The husband is stubborn, which we all are. It's a guy thing, so I'm politically correct. We're stubborn, we're hard-headed, we don't listen, we don't follow directions. Now, guys, don't shoot me down here. I just know that you could never win an argument with a woman, so I'm just getting myself straightened out here so that when I go see some of these guys, they don't beat me up. So the guy wants to stay in the property, can't afford it. Did you actually run that ad, Karen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you ran the ad. Did you get any results?
Well, it was mostly, I got 3, and there were realtors who just wanted to list the house.
Realtors pretty hungry now. They're calling you on the list the house. You tell them go fly a kite?
Yep. So
good.
That's the result.
Yeah. Send them somewhere. Tell them get out of here. This is, your deal. So has the husband changed his stubbornness?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. I called, Anna yesterday, and she couldn't do much too. Like, she's just ready to divorce.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to sell this house before I can do that.
Ooh, that's some desperate housewife stuff, huh? Want to divorce him, but he can't divorce him until he sell the house. Wow. I wonder if I can get to him and see if I can make some money. But anyway, so the guy doesn't want to sell. How much equity is in that property, Karen?
Probably 80,000.
80,000.
It's 80,000. It's just slow right now here.
Oh yeah, it's slow everywhere.
So everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere is slow. Just because everybody's heard the word that, interest rates are rising, the slowdown, the meltdown, the bubbles bursting. So why get in a big hurry if you're trying to buy a house? Because the market's going to go lower, I do believe. It won't sink, but it will go lower. So with that being said, you just hang right in there and see if something can come from it. But, Karen, I've been listening to my Foreclosure Teleseminar Secrets website, the audios, and I cannot believe how many times you've talked with owners, how many times you've talked with owners in different states, and how many responses you've gotten since you've been doing this. It seems like every phone call that I have recorded was you. You were involved with it somehow. I was listening to the guy that had the $1 million place.
Yes.
I was looking at that, and I was listening to the guy up here in Folsom that couldn't afford his house, and I'm going, wow. Man, Karen's done quite a bit. Still haven't got that first deal, but can you tell you're on the right track?
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. How about Sharon? Are you out there? Sharon Dawkins? Nope. Anyway, Sharon got a call off a penny saver ad that she ran on some commercial property. Got a owner that's behind on the second mortgage, and so she got a call off the penny saver. Thought that was pretty interesting. How about Barbara from New York?
I'm here, but I don't have a deal.
No, you don't have a deal, but you're working on one. Did you find a buyer for your place to sign the contract to?
No. It can't happen from one day to the next.
Yes, that's right. Any day it can happen. So did you run the ad?
I did not, but the real estate agent is doing it.
Okay, good. So we got a condominium conversion. They want the owners want to sell them for 3.1.
Yes, which is unrealistic.
Okay, they're trying to sell in New York. Now this is New York for 3.1.
In New York, and the current tenants in the building have exclusive right to buy at 2.2, until the 21st of July.
So what she's trying to do is assign that contract. Again, that's a pretty big spread, 2.2 up to 3.1. How close are you to the Trump stuff?
No, it's a residential area.
Okay, so
the Trump stuff's in the middle of Manhattan.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a little different.
Okay. All right. Well, heck, we're going to
because million is in the sentence.
Well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed for you and get that done. But that's pretty exciting. I mean, yeah, no one's really keeping score. I know you guys want to get that check as quickly as you can, but this is like anything else. You just got to keep at it every day, and you'll look up again, and you'll be sitting pretty good. So, is there anybody else out there that's got something new, or has closed a deal, or anything that can add on to this conversation, except for Holly? No one else? That's probably why we haven't had any conference calls in the last, so many days, because now mostly all of you know exactly what we need to do. I mean, I don't change, I don't vary. We still got to market. Once you guys start getting deals, then that's when we'll start having conference calls, because, I can't talk much more about what I do. You guys have heard it. You got it on the Foreclosure Teleseminar Secrets. You hear it when I come in and fly in and see you also. So, this is what I do, and it works every day this way. So if you guys want to have more conference calls, got to ask me more questions. You got to get some deals going. You got to get yourself into some things. Make some calls to some classified ads. Do something to see if you guys can generate some deals. So with that being said, that was just our little formal introduction. Is there any questions for me before I go into this nicely designed flow chart that Andrea did for me? So if any of you know Andrea's email, drop her email and say, man, that is a nice looking flow chart. That's exactly what I wanted. So any questions for me before we proceed ahead? Man, you guys are quiet. I haven't talked to half of you guys in 6 months. Still got nothing to talk to me about.
Well, Terry, I do got one question.
Well, go ahead, Troy. Maybe you'll spur these guys to ask me more.
When I went on the website, and I tried to go into the information that you told me to go into,
right,
I wasn't able to access none of the information.
Oh, man. That thing is coded and locked down. So what I'll do is I'll send you the email and the passcode and all the username stuff, because I got some other people on the line that shouldn't have that information as of yet. So,
A couple of weeks ago, I tried to get into that website, and I didn't have any access either.
Wow.
Although I know the password and I know all of that.
Okay, well, that's Barbara, right?
Yes.
Okay, Barbara, what we can do, if you drop me an email, I'll get on the phone and call you, and we'll walk through it together. So, thanks for pointing that out to me. Anybody else having that issue? What Foreclosure Teleseminar Secrets website, Terry? You got one of those? Oh, man. Anyway, I guess I'm the only one smiling tonight. Let's move on. I'll get a little bit more serious here with this flow chart. All right. Again, you guys, when you're dealing with homeowners in foreclosure, they have a tendency to talk about everything. And as a beginner, or as an intermediate investor that you are, you got to listen to all that. You got to hear about the stories, but you got to get to the facts before that call is over, or else you're going to call them back and have to do it all over again. Now, when you call me and tell me, well, Terry, they said this and they said that and they said this and they said that, I don't really want to hear the whole story. I want you to give me the condensed version, the nuts and the bolts and the bottom line. So pretty much all of you know that you got 4 main questions. And the 5th one, again, is call me. First phase is you got to build a relationship, because the person is calling you, most likely because they've seen your advertisement or your marketing, they're going to be open to you. So you have some control. You have more control than you can ever imagine. When they call you and say, look, I'm in foreclosure, all you got to do is ask, and they'll tell. So it's important that you try to get the relationship built. And so if we go to the first page, I think, actually the second page, phase 1. How do you build a relationship? You build a relationship by just asking simple questions. Well, how did you get behind on your payments? This may be even before the 4 questions. Maybe it might be after. How did you get behind on your payments? Let them tell the story. You start looking for your next question, wiping the sweat off your eyebrow, clearing your throat so you'll be ready to go. Next question I may ask, and this doesn't have to be in any order. Well, what do you do for a living? And I always call them Mr. and Mrs. You know, no matter who I talk to, I call them Mr. and Mrs. because I want to show them a little respect. And plus, I think it's something that gives me the edge over my competition. When you call somebody by their first name, you know, that's okay. But I like that Mr. and Mrs. I like that discipline. I guess that goes back to them old karate days. So, again, what do you do for a living, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? Well, how many bedrooms and baths do you have? I know you guys know this, but I'm just refreshing it. So when you get some leads, you'll understand how to go through this step by step by step. I may even ask them, how many square feet do you have in your house? Well, Mr. and Miss Jones, now I need to get down to some serious questions, if you don't mind. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, what do you owe on the property? You guys know that, first and a second. Again, I'm going to use my case study. It is in your Foreclosure Teleseminar Secrets website, and it is in the manual that I've given some of you that I flew in and seen you for 2 days. It's in your manual. So we hash this thing out again. I definitely believe in layering it and layering it and layering it until you guys get it. Layer. What do you owe? And it's real simple. For you guys, I want you to give me the answer. I'm asking, on case study number 1, I want you guys on the phone to give me the answer to my favorite case study. What's the first owed? Are you guys still with me? Say yes, Terry.
Yeah.
Say yes. All right. So what is the first owed on my favorite case study? Now, if you haven't been with me, I haven't flown in, you haven't looked at my website, you don't know the answer, so I don't expect you to give it to me, but I expect some of these other guys to know. All right. I guess I'll do it myself then. The first is owed $140,000. That's what the homeowner tells me. I said, well, do you have a second? I said, yes, we do. Second's owed $40,000. So you want to fill these blanks in so you can go back and study and have an even clearer concept of how this works. Feel free to. The property value. How much is your house worth, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? Well, it's worth $230,000. Of course, you want to ask them, how did they come up with that number? If they came off the top of their head, you should verify it. If they say, well, I just had an appraisal 2 weeks ago, then you can understand that they are pretty accurate. Okay? And you ask, does the house need repairs? And they say no. House is in perfect condition. Again, if they say it needs some repairs, well, how do you know how much repairs it needs? Well, I guessed. Or I had a contractor do it. These, again, are things that you can ask to get more specific about the property. And then ask them, what do you want to do? Well, the advertising that we're running, the newsletter that we're sending out, 9 times out of 10, the people are calling are going to be the people that want to stay in their house. Yeah, I want to stay. Okay, good. Well, we can help you. Next thing you want to do is say, well, now I need to call my financial partner. Or we continue with this flow chart to the next page. So, are there any questions so far? And that was the first stage. When I first met you guys for such a long time, I did not go past this page because I know I've talked to some of you. You said, Terry, I got a call today. Man, I forgot those 4 questions. It's only normal because you guys are not in that mindset totally right now. Some of you are not. So those 4 questions and that 5th one was just the basics. I didn't want you to say anything else. I didn't want you to say, well, I think we can help you stay in your house and we'll make your payments for you and we'll give you a loan. Well, how do you know we're going to give them a loan yet? So that's why I didn't teach you any further. So I think you guys have got this first phase down, and now we're ready to move on because I think you guys see the concept that I'm teaching more clear. One thing I want to encourage you guys to do is not to mix this with somebody else's stuff. The main reason why I believe this system works is because we're keeping the homeowner in the house. We are trying to keep the homeowner in the house. This is our first priority. Now, not a lot of other foreclosure programs, that's not their priority. So if you're studying somebody else's material, don't try to mix them, else you're only going to get your person confused and kill your deals. Do one or the other. Or, if you feel like mixing them, go right ahead, but do it at your own, do it at your own discretion.
Well, Terry, that was a good evaluation of it because being that I've bought a few different programs and I've been going through them, but yours was the most simplest to understand and implement at the present time. And I spent quite a few dollars on a few programs. So as I'm looking at yours, what I did with everything else I had, I just put it to the side. I just kind of like pushed all that everything else to the side and just concentrate on what I'm getting from you right now.
Well, see, the thing of it is, it's really, you're no different than anybody else, I think, on the phone, Troy. A lot of these guys, including myself, have bought so many programs and so much stuff, you don't know what is what.
Right.
And the key part that I believe is that everybody is missing is that person that developed the course. You need to call them and say, okay, now how do I get from A to B? Else you're left to do it on your own.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, and there's so many pieces missing. Not that the owner did it on purpose. They try to give you as much as you can, but every day the real world changes. So you can't put it all in the book today because it changes. So if you got questions, you need help, you always call that financial partner, and that way I can get you to the next step. So that's the thing I think is missing. So again, Carlton Sheets, all those programs work. They all work to a certain extent, but you got to know how to put the right piece in the right place. So that's the first phase. Let's move on to the second phase. If there's any other questions, feel free, you guys. All right, so phase 2 is really, it's really kind of funny because all I'm doing is finding out what do they have. I know they're in foreclosure, but look, Mr. and Ms. Homeowner, I need to find out what you have, first of all, before I start coming to some solutions. Now, since I mentioned that word solutions, how many solutions are there to helping these homeowners in foreclosure?
5.
How many?
5.
5. Anybody else want to guess?
It depends on the situation they're in.
It depends. Definitely depends. Now, I like that. I set you guys up. I wanted to hear 5 because I want you guys to understand. Douglas started this whole 5 solution stuff, and he put it in his letter. But see, the 5 solutions are not for people in foreclosure. Where do you use the 5 solutions mainly?
You ask me, Terry?
Anybody? See, I'm getting you guys clear on what we're doing. The 5 solutions are for people that you buy their note. It's for the non-performing paper. Oh, wow. Heavy, Terry, heavy. Heavy. I didn't know that. So, again, I'm teaching you 2 different systems. You got the foreclosures and the non-performing paper. The paper comes from the person being in foreclosure. So remember, separate the 2. So there's many solutions to helping a homeowner in foreclosure. It just depends on the situation. All right, let's move on. So again, I got to find out what the owner has. So first thing I'm going to do is ask them, hey, do you have the money to make up the back payments? And it always amazes me. No, I don't have it. If I had it, I wouldn't have called you. Okay, duh, I understand that, but I just want to see if you had any money. So, well, I'll say, well, can you borrow it from family? How about some friends? Can you go out and get financing? No, 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 no. All right, well, what that lets me know is maybe their credit's bad or there's no equity. If they can't borrow the money, that tells me they're one step from me telling them they got to move out of their house. They got to leave the house. One of the most difficult things you guys are ever going to do is tell a homeowner that they can't stay in their own house. Man, that's going to eat you up. But after a while, you'll realize it's the truth. Why let somebody borrow money if they can't even make the payments that they have? And if you do that, boy, are you going to regret it. You're going to lose your money and you're going to be awfully mad. So I'm trying to keep you from going to that bad seminar. So again, if they can't borrow the money, if they don't have it from a family member, most people will say, well, you know what, I don't want to go to my family. And I understand that. That's okay. It might be a pride thing or they've already borrowed too much money and they haven't paid it back. So you guys are judging for yourself where this person is at. Okay? So then I go, well, I'm at the bottom here. What about if I was to get those back payments made? If I made those back payments, can you now afford to make your monthly payment? They go, nope. That's another sign that I got to tell them they're getting close to moving out of the house. You got to move. So again, if I was to make those back payments, do you have enough money? Here's the third part of this. Let me go back and rehash it again. They can't borrow it. I got to put myself some notes here. And this flow chart, I haven't gone through it all the way, so there may be some changes and adjustments. So you guys make those changes as we go. So again, they can't afford it. They can't borrow the money, I should say. They can't borrow. The second phase is, well, if I was to make the back payments, could you then make your monthly payments? They say no. Now the last one, that's when I know they can't afford the house. If I say, well, if I was to make the back payments, and assuming you could go ahead and make your monthly payments, do you have enough money left over to pay extra on the loan that I'm giving you? It's almost like what you did, Manny. It's very similar. Okay, homeowner, can you afford to make your monthly payments? And if you can, then can you make some extra monthly payments on the loan that I'm going to let you borrow the money on? And depending, again, what they say, yes or no from that point. If they say no, it's obvious, you guys. You got to tell them the truth. And it hurts. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, it doesn't look like you can afford your house. And my suggestion is that we go to our next phase of trying to come up with some solutions to help you move on with your life. Man, that hurts. I'm telling you guys now, that hurts to tell them that. But the sooner you tell them that, I think the better off you'll be. They know it, but they just need someone else to tell them. So that's a delicate one. Tread at your own pace. I would rather see you guys negotiate with these homeowners than call me now, because most of you have heard me negotiate, and you can do the same thing. It's no big deal. The sooner you start doing it, the better you're going to get. So try it. Work through it. Learn this. Study it. Tape yourself. I mean, I do it all the time. I tape myself, and I listen to what I'm saying. I try to get better. I develop a script that I can see. See, this script here, this flow chart, may not be what you want to do as far as reading and talking with a homeowner. Make it so that you can see it. Put the papers on your bedroom wall when you're talking on the phone. I do that all the time. I read from scripts, and that's what makes me better. So, again, they can, let's say, they cannot make the payments. So what I'm going to do is go to phase 3 now, and basically, the first box under phase 3 says homeowner must sell. I'm going to change that to homeowner must sell using a realtor. So, homeowner, have you ever tried selling the property with a realtor? Depending on their equity, if they have no equity, that's a bad idea. Won't get done. So let's assume there's no equity. Let's go down to the next one. Get the deed. Okay? Getting the deed simply means that I'm going to ask the homeowner to sign the deed over to me. I'm just going to say these words, and you might want to write them down. Homeowner, I'm going to do my best to try to get this property sold so you don't have a foreclosure on your credit report. Now, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to do it. I'm just going to try. Homeowner says, well, do I get any money? No. Or it could be some moving money. This is called moving money, basically. You know, I might be able to get you $1,000, $1,500, but I can't guarantee it yet until I go to work. So that's called getting the deed. And you're probably going to have to hear me talk about getting that deed more before you become really good at it. Every state has its own laws. Scott, what's the law in California if you get that deed and the person's in foreclosure?
Well, no, I've never gotten a deed in California.
All right, Karen, your turn.
You take, you're responsible for the loan.
You're responsible?
For the loan, and it's still under the homeowner's name.
Okay, who's responsible? Is that us as an investor?
As an investor, well, I will be.
You will be. If you get the deed, that means you are responsible. So you have to make all the payments from here on out?
If I took the deed from them, yes.
That's not true. The homeowner is still responsible.
Oh, the homeowner.
Yep. It's a homeowner's responsibility. So in that situation, the deed does nothing more than what, Scott? What does the deed allow me to do?
Allows you to control them.
Allows me to control the property. Who makes all the money if it sells at the title company? The homeowner or us as investors if we have the deed?
Deed holder.
The deed holder. Okay? Whoever has the deed makes all the money. So if I have the deed, like tomorrow at the auction, I have the deed. So if there's any profits left over, I get those also. So the deed allows me to go to escrow. You guys hold 1 second. Ma'am, I got a conference call going right now. Yes.
Hey, Holly, did you get the deed today?
No.
Ah,
Calling me about.
call me after if you got time.
I probably will have to call you in the morning.
You're going in foreclosure this month. Okay, hold on one second, ma'am. I'll go ahead and try to help you right now. Are you in Modesto? You're east of Gulf. Okay. And how much do you owe on your property? Okay, hold on one second for me, please. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll put those guys on hold on my conference call. They'll wait for me. They love me. Okay, how much do you owe on your property, ma'am?
$253,000.
You owe $253,000.
Approximately, yes. I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but it's around there.
Okay, and do you have a second mortgage?
No.
Okay. How much is your house worth?
Last year was appraised at $450,000.
Appraised at
It might
400.
be more now. I'm not too sure.
Okay. And how many bedrooms, baths do you have?
4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it's a 2-acre house.
2-acre
Ranch
house.
in Harold.
Okay. Does it need any repairs?
No.
No repairs.
No.
Okay.
Maybe just the windows are. We have to put windows because 2 are broken.
Yes.
Yeah, but nothing, really drastic that needs repairs.
Okay. How much are you behind on your payments?
I'm behind May, June, and July because me and my husband didn't work for a few weeks, and I can't get caught up. And I've been making my payments on time and everything.
Okay. What's your name, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Oh, Teresa Rosales.
Miss Rosales.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard because my husband's retired and I'm the only one working right now, but he does help me because he makes up. He's working on the side too.
Okay. And what do you do for a living, Miss Rosales?
I work at the office through Cali Services. I've been with them since last year of January.
Okay. And then how much are your payments on that mortgage?
$1,830 plus that.
Is that a fixed rate or adjustable?
I think it's no, it's not a fixed rate.
Okay, it's adjustable, interest only? Okay.
And I know I have a pre-penalty payment. That's not going to go until next year, but I'm not going to be able to wait because I could lose the house.
Okay. So you just bought the house?
I'm on the phone right now. Hold on. Sorry about it.
That's okay. You just bought the house recently?
We bought it in '99.
Oh, okay.
It was new when we bought it. We're barely building it.
So you're probably, about $6,000 behind on payments?
Yes, I would say.
Okay.
And I was trying to borrow the money last month, so I don't have to go through this, so I wasn't able to get it. So now I know they haven't sent me no paperwork yet. They just told me I have to pay by the 6th or 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Get okay, and then by the end of last month. But now I know I'm going to be getting some in the mail because I already know it's already affecting the credit. My credit has been good because it's like I just called Check and they filled up 3 reports, and the highest was 475.
Oh, your credit score is 475.
Yeah, and I know it wasn't that bad before.
Okay.
I've gotten lower.
Well, that's all right. I just need to work through some details with you so I can see if I can come up with a solution. What do you want to do with the house?
Well, I want to stay at the house. I don't want to lose the house. We put a lot of money into it,
Right. Is that the reason you called me and from the...
I want to keep the house. I want to see if I can refinance or anything. I don't want to go, I'm going to go into foreclosure. I know I'm probably already in foreclosure this month already.
Okay.
I'm trying to, get caught up and if I could get a loan.
Okay.
If I could. I know nobody else is going to give me a loan.
Right. Well, you just got to keep trying. Don't give up hope yet. It's all, anything's possible.
Right now. It's hard for me to call at work, so I'm trying to make my calls now,
Yeah. And so you've seen my ad in the Sacramento Bee?
Yes, I did,
Okay. Now, do you have any money at all?
No, well, we just got hardly nothing, nothing to pay the house.
Okay.
In the middle of the month, every Wednesday, my husband gets $1,500 in the month. His bank account from Social Security.
Yes.
And that's what the 4 children we have. So he gets a pretty good, amount on the middle. Every 3rd Wednesday, he gets Social Security.
Okay. Now, can you borrow the money from family?
I can't borrow any money because I already tried that last month. There's nobody's gonna lend me that $5,000 or $6,000 this month.
Okay. So you don't have any friends or family members or...
I tried all that.
Tried all that. So you have...
all that. I tried to do that last month. I won't get to this point.
Okay. So you can't borrow from a finance company. Let me ask you this question. If, for example, I was to make your back payments, can you afford to make your monthly payments from here on out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm working now. What happened is I was out of work for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then my husband was out of work, too. It got stole for him.
Okay.
It didn't work too good.
Okay.
We've been paying our payments, you know, since we rehab finance last September. And then this happened again. I can't believe it. It's like Twilight Zone or something.
Hey, you know.
We had a bad month last month, and it's just not good at all.
Well, you know, bad things happen to good people, and it's called life. So I have a foreclosure. I don't know if you got a chance to go to my website, but I have a foreclosure, and I know what it's like. I know what you're going through. So that's why I do the business. I try to help people like you in your situation. So let me ask you one more question now. If I could make those back payments and get you caught up, do you have any extra money that you can give me on as far as a loan? Do you have any extra money in your budget to pay?
Oh, I wish I did.
Okay. So you're saying no?
It would have to be made in payments, you know. Once, you know, we're able to make the monthly payments because my husband gets $1,500. All we need is a few hundred more to make that. And I'm working. Everything's been fine, so we got behind, you know.
Okay, so you're saying you don't have any extra after you make your mortgage payment?
Extra money after we make, oh yeah, we have extra money when we make our mortgage payment monthly. We have extra money, but right now we don't.
Okay, let's say I let you have $6,000 to make your back payments.
Yeah.
What could you pay me toward that $6,000 as my payment for helping you out? Do you have an
I don't know how it works, how you do your business. I don't know how do you have to tell me.
It's pretty simple. You tell me how much extra you have, and we'll work from there.
You mean on a monthly basis?
Oh yeah, yeah, on a monthly basis.
Oh, you mean payments a month?
Yeah, pay me back.
Oh, yeah, of course. Let me see. Well, after we make, I make $400 a week.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't, Ms. Rosales, I don't want to strain you, okay? And I don't want you to get over indebted in this, because if you don't make the payments to me, I'm actually going to make a mortgage on it, and I have to foreclose if you don't make your payments to me. So I'm just being real honest with you. Don't stretch yourself.
What are you asking? Whatever the minimum is, I can do. You know, what you're asking for. What are you looking for?
What's the least amount you can pay a month to pay me back on the $6,000?
Between $300 and $500 a month.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I think you qualify for my program.
Yeah, because once we make our payments, you know, the house payment, of course we got the bill, insurance. We don't have no car payments.
Right.
All we pay is the house payment, the mortgage insurance, the car insurance. Well, just got that lower because our car insurance was too high. And all we pay is basic stuff for the home, you know.
Okay.
Whatever, you know.
Okay, let me do one thing here, Ms. Rosales. I need your address so I can pull up some comps. And I also going to need a authorization form. And all that authorization form does, it allows me to talk to your bank. And when I say bank, how much does Mr. and Ms. Rosales owe on their house? And the bank will give me a number, and they'll say, well, they owe $253,000.
Yeah.
I go, great, Ms. Rosales told me the true story. Sometimes when I call the banks, the bank will say, well, no, they owe $275,000.
So now with all the payment, what we owe now, it's going to be more.
So that's why I need to know.
Yeah, the $253,000 is what we owe, plus whatever, like you said, the $6,000 now that we owe now extra.
Okay. All right, so let me have your property address.
Okay, it's 139 Biscayne Road, that's C as in boy, E-S-K-E-E-N. And that's in Herald, H-E-R-A-L-D, California, 95638.
I've never heard of 956.
Yeah, it's on the country, it's on the boonies, it's east of Gulf. Sacramento Valley, nobody knows where we live.
Okay.
Yeah, C as in boy, K-E-E-N as in Nancy.
Okay.
And Herald is H-E-R-A-L-D.
All right. 956.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's up?
Zip code 956.
Oh, 95638.
38. Okay, now you gave me a phone number of 20.
Yeah,
Okay, is there another number I can reach you at?
Well, not till Friday when I get my cell phone hooked up, but that's the, let me give you the cell number. That won't be ready till
That's okay.
Friday. Let me get the number here.
All right.
It's 209 712 5. But that number won't be available till Friday.
Okay. Well, think of it, Ms. Rosales. You're not that far behind. I have a guy up in Las Vegas that was $42,000 behind.
Oh.
I paid that for him in 2002, and the guy's still living in his house. 5,000 compared to 42.
That's what I want to do because I got 4 kids, depending on me, and I don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to go through this.
Well, I understand. I'm going to try to help you out. I'm going to do some research, and I'll end up calling you back. And if we do help you out, all I ask is that you give us a nice testimonial so that the next person we can help, they'll have a tendency to want to believe us and understand what we're doing. Also, again, I need to send you a authorization form. Do you have a fax number I can send that to?
At work, what I can do is call you at work tomorrow.
Okay.
But that's I guess. I don't know if they could.
I can mail it to you if you want.
Can you mail it to me?
I can mail it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
No, not really. I just want
Well,
right now, I'm at the point where my credit isn't that good, and I can't.
That's all right.
I just need to get the house saved,
Ms. Rosales, I'm just like you. I mean, I had bad credit. I probably still got bad credit. I don't have the
It's hard
greatest.
sometimes,
Yeah, but the thing of it is, there's an old Bible saying that this too shall pass. And again, you're a small amount of money behind. I talked to a lot of people, and they're deep.
Well, I hope you can help me.
Well, I'm going to try my hardest. I think you should sleep a little better at night because I'm letting you know that it doesn't seem that
Yeah, I've
difficult.
been worried.
Yeah, I know you have. Losing sleep, haven't you?
Let me get your name. I'm sorry.
Okay, my name is Terry.
Okay.
Last name is Bontemps. That's Bontemps.
Okay.
It's a good times in French. Okay, you got the number, which is 916-470-3869.
Okay.
And Ms. Rosales, I do have a group of investors I work with all across the United States, and they're on that same mission as I am to help people just like you save their home.
Thank you very much.
And we just saved a veteran's home. He was losing his house. He didn't have any family, and he was a veteran, and we helped him keep his house. So we should be getting that testimonial pretty quickly too, and I'd like for you to see that. So, okay, Ms. Rosales, I got to get back to these guys. I know they're probably wondering, but I know they're waiting on me.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, and then I'll hear from you. Or you want me to call you when I get after I fill out the form, or how do you want me to do that?
We'll touch base.
Back to you.
Okay, we'll touch bases, and I'll get it to you, and then I'll let you know what we do next.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Man, you guys, how was that?
Beautiful, beautiful.
That was real life Sacramento Bee ad.
Wow.
And the Bee ad quit running, I think, about a week ago. So that's another reason why, again, we want to have something out there. And I don't know. I know where Galt's at, but I don't know where this Herald is at. Never heard of it before. So I just went through the script, and I didn't have to get to the point where I was asking for a deed to buy the note, short sell, yada, yada, yada. How much equity does she have in that property, you guys? How much?
100,000, basically.
More than.
You guys didn't write the numbers down?
50.
100 at 150 roughly. So if you loan somebody $6,000 and if you had to foreclose, there's probably going to be somebody to show up at the sale so we get our money out. That's a very small amount of money. And if some of you are looking for, a decent investment, that may be something you get involved with. Again, I got to call the bank, check out her numbers, see what happens if she's got an adjustable rate mortgage. If that thing goes up, what's going to happen? If it's interest only, got to find all that out also. Just the normal stuff that we do. So, did you see how easy it was? All I had to do was ask questions, and she just went her own way. It felt like we knew each other because I gave her the questions I wanted to answer. She wanted to tell her story, which I let her do. And that's how most homeowners in foreclosure are, if you get the right ones. Now, the problem with some of you is you're going to be dealing with the people that don't want to work with you. Here's what the people that don't want to work with you say. Well, I need an authorization form. Well, I'm not going to give it to you. Well, how much do you owe? Well, I don't think you should know that. Well, how many bedrooms and baths? That's none of your business. I'll tell you what. You call me back when you get in a better mood because I can't do anything for you. Wish you the best. Goodbye. See, that type of person you can't work with. Only with a person like Miss Rosales can you work with and help. Now, she's not going to be a big money maker. She's not going to make none of us rich. But some of you on the line told me that you're in this to help homeowners keep their homes. Okay? So I know Clarice has been telling me this. And I've been telling Clarice, I said, you kind of scare me because you want to help people, but you also got to worry about making a profit in the process. So some of you that are in the generous mode, if you want to help that young lady out, send me an email. I don't know what I will do. I don't know if I'm interested in working on it, or not working on it, but loaning the money. I may, but I want to see my money make bigger returns. So I'm going to do the best I can to help her. So we were back to getting the need. All right, let's go back to phase 3. Does anybody have any questions on that conversation with me and Miss Rosales? You just got to do it, you guys. I mean, I don't expect... Go ahead.
I'm surprised that she, opened up to you so readily, that she didn't hold back. And
No, because she has a problem. And she just, you heard her say, well, I can't borrow from friends. I can't borrow from family. I can't borrow because my credit's for something. She could do a hard money loan, but man, that would just probably wipe her out. But that's how easy it is when you get the right people. All you got to do is ask the right questions. So I'm kind of glad that happened. I didn't script it. And it worked out perfect so that you guys can see, what you run into. That's why I like sending the Douglas letter out. That's why I like putting signs out. I want people that are in a bad situation to call me. That way I don't have to chase them. So let's say if it was a good money deal. I was on the phone talking to you guys, making money. Just simply from an ad that I ran in Sacramento Bee. All right, enough of that. So let's go to, again, phase 3. Is there anybody else got any questions?
No, I think, Terry, it's Karen.
Okay.
Just not a question, but just amazing because there was a point that she was kind of upset and just I don't know, maybe it's just something to be learned through you, how you calmed her down and she started opening up again.
Yeah.
Because I would freak out if she started, the way she sounded, the way it's what do I do? When
Yes.
someone starts talking that way, but you were able to drive her in the direction you wanted.
Well, see, it's influence. I believe, you guys, and when I leave this earth, they will say this guy loved his real estate business. People will look at me and say, he was a karate guy, but he loved his real estate business also. That's what he was known for. He developed stuff. I believe so wholeheartedly in this that I would argue with anybody that what I'm doing is for the benefit of these people that are in foreclosure. So you got to believe, and when you believe, it comes out in your words. Every one of you knows a Bible quote to help somebody in a distressed situation. This is my favorite one. There's an old Bible saying that this too shall pass. Okay, Terry, thanks for that little quote. I knew it. I heard it at church every Sunday. But man, as I'm going through this, I lost my faith. So okay, let me give it back to you. And then I tell them about Harrison. Yeah, we got a guy in Las Vegas. You guys have heard me say it before, and I'll say it again and again. Hey, 42 grand. And Harrison is still going to be living in that house. And I got to put another 19 grand in there by the 17th of this month. Use me and what I've done to help you get better. But you got to learn my story. You got to study my stuff. You got to sound just like me. I'm giving you the model. All you got to do is duplicate it. Model the success. And then take it and make it better. And then give some back so that we can help everybody improve. So, yeah, I had a foreclosure, ma'am. Wow. And I know what you're going through. I know it's sleepless nights. I know you're on the couch crying. Yeah, you got 4 kids? Oh, that's hard. That hits my heart hard there. 4 kids? Whew. Nobody wants to be homeless, especially if you got children. So, again, going back to phase 3, if there's nothing else. Getting the deed, I already talked about that. Buying the note. I think most of you on the line understand that's what I do. I buy those notes. Now, the case study that I talked about from page 1, how much equity is in that property? Man, either you guys are on mute.
50.
$50,000 of equity. Thank you. There's $50,000 of equity. Okay? The note is worth 40. I can buy that note at a discount. Most of you probably know my numbers. I did buy it for 10 grand on that property. See, that owner did not want to sell their house. No matter what scenario I came up with, no matter what solution I came up with, they were not selling the house. So the only way I could make a deal was to buy the note. Once I bought the note for $10,000, then at that point I became the bank. Okay? Now, also there's short sale at the bottom. Short sale is not my expertise. Short sale is not a way I would like to present anything to anybody. I would not even say short sale, unless it's the last thing on the earth. You can say it if you want. I don't know what's going to happen and how you're going to make your money. Now, the one thing I will say on a short sale is this. Homeowner owes $500,000. House is worth $500,000. And we can't do anything. I can't come up with answers and solutions. I'll just say, look, maybe we can do a short sale on your property. We can get the bank to take less. You got to move out, and maybe we can get you something. But that's the last thing I'll say is a short sale, because I don't want the person to go into the short sale mode, because I don't know how much money I'll make from a short sale. Those things take forever also. Plus, you got to have a buyer lined up. I just was talking to a bank in Las Vegas about, or actually on a property in Las Vegas, and the bank said they would accept an offer from me on a property. They would do a short sale. They said, hey, fax us in an offer. I didn't even really want the house. So it's like, well, I'll fax you an offer. I haven't did it yet. I don't want the house. I don't want to be responsible for becoming a landlord and having tenants. That's not my primary thing. So, and then I also with one of those properties in Las Vegas, bank said, it was a second mortgage, said, hey, send us your name and let us know you want to buy notes. So from working with people, I was able to build myself some new, probably clients, by just asking, okay, I'd like to buy notes from you. I want to buy the second mortgage. Even if I couldn't do a deal, hey, do you guys sell the mortgages? I'm a person that loves to extract information. I'm not going to get off the phone until I've extracted everything out of you. I'm going to talk your ears off like I'm doing right now. I still haven't stopped. It's because I'm trying to extract everything I can. I get one opportunity, and I'm giving you my best shot. This is a performance by me to be the best that I can be. So every time I do this stuff, I'm trying to improve and get better so that I become a master at what I'm doing. And that's all I've done with paper. I've looked at this stuff so many times, you guys, and I've turned it over, and I ask what-if questions, and what if, and what if, and what if, and what if, that I see it a lot clearer now. And that's all I'm trying to show you guys. That's why I invite you to sales. That's why I get you on the phone calls. I want you guys to have the same mindset that I have about foreclosures and non-performing paper. But you got to study it. Lots and lots of hours. So that's it on that page as far as phase 3. Going to the next page, which is 3B, I guess, on the top. Let's make some money, option B. I don't see anything different than what I just talked about. Let's go to page, actually, time to fish or cut bait. When you guys are sitting in the homeowner's house, you got to be able to, it's nice to have your numbers. It's nice to have a yellow pad laid out so that the homeowner can see their numbers. This is something that, once you get this is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. I'm a professional. I'll go sit down in a homeowner's house, and I'll tell them exactly what's going to happen at the trustee sale. Okay, Mr. and Ms. Homeowner, going back to case study number 1 again. Theoretically, you're owed $50,000 for your equity. Because they told me they owe $140 on the first and $40 on the second. You've got $50,000 of equity. But when you go to the trustee sale, when the property's sold at the courthouse steps, you may not get all $50,000. Now, for some of you that I went out and flew in and did 2 days of training, I went over this with you, step by step. You got to be able to tell the homeowner, look, if someone bids X number of dollars at the sale, let's say the bid's only $180,000 on your nice house. That means you don't get anything. Homeowner, you were owed $50,000, but you don't get anything because of the trustee sale process. The $180,000 that was bidded pays off the first and the second. It's not the investor's job to bid your property high, although that's what you've seen of auctions. The concept of an auction for real estate investors is to keep it low so that they make more money. So Mr. and Ms. Homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I can help you get a decent amount of money if you work with me. This is what you guys got to learn. So what you guys got to do is have a trustee sale. What if the first was going to sell? They were asking $140 at the auction. Most likely somebody's going to be their bid, wouldn't you think? But now, let's say the second is going to auction. They're foreclosing. What's going to happen? So you got to educate that homeowner. And that's a part of this process. When I go in and I give this owner all these solutions and I put it on paper so they can see it, versus you, when you go in, you're just talking on the phone and giving them numbers and they're confused and their eyes are rolling around in their head, I have a tendency to think they want to work with me just because I laid it out for them. Now, that may be true or it may not be true. But see, I believe when I talk to people, they're going to like me, and they're going to be influenced by me, and I'm going to educate them. Wow. And that's the first call. We got 10 minutes left. So, again, study phase 4. You guys have to become good at it. You guys have to ask me questions. You have to send me emails so I know where you're at in life. I don't know where most of you are at in the process. I'm just giving you an overview. If you really want to master it, you're going to take the time to study every word, every sentence, and say, Terry, I don't understand what you mean when no one shows up at the sale. The homeowner can lose their equity. Now, for some of you that I haven't flew in and seen yet, it's exactly what I'm going to be going over is this stuff here. So, still, if you got questions, send them to me. All right, let's go to phase 5. Call the bank. Okay, this is when I'm negotiating with the second bank. Second bank, you're owed $40,000. Are you coming to the sale? Most times, the second lenders do not go to sale. It's just private individuals that show up. So I'll say, bank, do you know that you can lose everything? Why don't you sell me your second note? And I'll tell them a long, ugly story. Well, did you know that people are filing bankruptcy? Have you seen the house? Oh, man, it's ugly, it's stinky, it needs repairs. Have you did a BPO on the property? And I'll start telling the bank and giving them reasons why I think they should drop the price. That's fun stuff. They may go for it, they may not. But see, I have a script that I try to give the bank also to get them to sell me the note. So that's phase 5. Phase 6 is real simple. You put all that together, like what Miss Rosales just did. I put all the stuff together, and I try to figure out if it's a deal or not a deal. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I've never gone into details. You guys, if you're comfortable, do it. If you want me to do it a few times, I don't mind. I'm here. I told you guys I'm going to be here to our last breath on earth. I'm going to be mentoring you as much as you allow me to. I've lost a few people along the way now. For some reason or other, they've given up. I knew people were going to quit before I was. See, I'm dedicated. I'm motivated. I love this. It's my life. I'll be with this forever. I will tell you guys, I will be the last person turning out the lights because you guys will quit before I will, because I never quit and I never give up.
It's good to hear that.
You got to hear it because, again, no one can tell me, Terry, you did a bad job. No one can fault me. I put the blame right on the person. I said, look in the mirror. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you really working your business? Are you looking for an excuse or somebody to blame? Can't blame me because I got too many people that are successful. I say, look at Scott. Look at Holly. Ask them, has Terry been doing a good job or a bad job? Who else, you guys, has been mentoring you, will give you their phone number and work with you and answer the phone when you call?
No one.
No one.
And I paid way more money than this for that.
And let me tell you, Troy, you haven't spent near as much as most of these guys. Some of these guys on the phone, Troy, have spent $25,000 for their training. You know what's going to make the difference? Is when you start making checks and making money, the cost of your education is not going to be important.
Right.
Okay? You'll forget about what you spent if you go out and start making checks and go to work. Until then, Terry, it doesn't work. You're only giving me pieces of the puzzle. You're not giving it to me all. Hey, I can't give it to you all until you're ready for it. It's like a white belt coming into class. They want to learn how to be a black belt, the same week. You got to go through punches. You got to go through kicks. You got to go to class every day. You got to go through discipline, push-ups, sit-ups. You guys are the same way. And if you don't go through all that stuff, you can't become a black belt. I'm done. This stuff is so much fun. And like I told you guys, I should be paying you for allowing me to become better. Every time I talk about this stuff, I get better and better and better. So what you should start doing is talking to more people. Start talking. Start telling people what you do. Holly just got $100,000 from friends because she told them what she does. She buys his paper. She's making a great profit. I dare you guys to ask people for money. Ooh, that's scary, Terry.
No, I'm trying. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. And the worst they can say is no. And when they say no, what do we say, you guys?
Thank you.
Next. Next. Rejection doesn't bother me.
Hey, Terry, I got a question, though.
Troy,
you're
Troy, let me say one thing.
right?
Troy, let me say one thing. Oh, I think we're cut off. Troy, you still there?
Huh?
Okay. Can you guys tell who's the hungriest person on the phone line tonight? It's the new guy. The new guy's asking all the questions and doing all the talking. He's hungry. Some of you guys have been with me for a while. You lost your edge. Troy, I think we're gone.